All right, welcome back. In this episode, we are going to talk about how you can begin to wake up to life in the deepest way possible, which means to actually feel like you are living in your life instead of just going through the motions of life and living on autopilot in the dreamlike state, which we'll talk about more in just a minute. My name is Gianna Bedell. I'm a one-on-one coach, certified hypnotherapist, meditation teacher, and guide. And if you'd love deeper support beyond this episode, make sure that you grab access to the Rewired app and the resources that are linked for you in the notes below. All right, let's dive into it. How to wake up to your life in the deepest way, how to awaken. Now, first and foremost, many of you are currently living your life in what I call the dreamlike state, which means you are going through the motions of your day to day reality. You are doing what you have been programmed to do since you were a child from society as you've grown. And based on what you've learned, you feel you need to do every day. And it's made you somewhat of a robot. And you're not actually feeling your life. You're just going through the motions of it. So, this episode is going to support you in starting your journey of awakening so that you can actually start being in your life instead of doing life. And there is a very big difference. So, when you are being in life, you are actually living, you are actually feeling, you are actually present. When you are doing life, you're just going through the motions. You're thinking about the next thing that you need to do all of the time instead of actually feeling what's happening around you, enjoying the views around you, enjoying the sounds around you, enjoying the smiles and experiences of the people that you love. And unfortunately, again, majority of you are living your life from a doing state instead of a being state. Now, a being state is simply a state of deep presence and deep feeling, which means you are in your life. You're present in it. You hear the sounds of the people you love. When you're outside and you see a bird, you actually see the spirit and the colors of that bird. You see the colors of the trees in a new way. You see the snow falling as a deep, profound act of God, act of nature. You are looking at what may seem mundane in your normal doing state and allowing it to feel more spiritual, allowing it to feel deeper for you. And the deeper you allow yourself to feel, the more alive and awakened you're going to naturally begin to feel in your life. And so it's hard. I know it's very hard. It's probably the hardest work that you'll ever do on yourself, waking up to life. And why is it so hard? Again, I talk about this all of the time. It's hard because of the endless distractions and doing that you have to do all of the time. You are constantly being pulled in 3,000 different directions. There is social media, there is television, there is your to-do list. If you're a parent, never mind that. There is a million things to do and other people to focus on all of the time. So the reason why you're so distracted and doing all of the time and you're living from that dreamlike state likely isn't fully your fault, but it is your responsibility to take your power back over your life and say, hey, while I'm doing all the things I need to do, I want to feel more. I want to be alive. I want to be awakened. I want to see the smile on my children's face. I want to see the light in their eyes. I want to actually be there in the moment, in the presence, right? When you're holding someone's hand, are you just holding their hand or are you actually feeling that person's energy and transferring your energy? So this is the difference between living from a doing state and living from a being state. When you are being, you are being. You are just present. You are there. You are awake. And so to become more aware and awakened, it requires you to spend some time with yourself. So the formula to awaken to life is awakening to yourself first. It is allowing yourself time to go within. which in a world of busyness and endless to-dos, there's probably a lot of excuses that are coming up as you think of spending some time with yourself. Like, I don't have time for that. But you do. You can always make time for it. When you wake up in the morning, before you bounce out of bed and start your doing, close your eyes and feel your energy. Close your eyes and have a visual of how you want your day to go and how you want to feel as you are moving through all of the tasks that you have to do. It can be done in literally under a minute, but you have to have the will to actually do it. You choose it. This isn't something that's going to just happen for you. It's going to happen with consistency. And if you do it once and it doesn't feel like it's working, it's because you only did it once. And you need to do this work every single day of your life. It's a retraining. So just as you learned to live on autopilot and live in that dreamlike state, and you learned to live from this place of doing, you need to rewire and recode and relearn a new way of showing up in the world, which again, it took time for you to learn to show up the way you are, and it's going to take time for you to learn this new way of being. It's a practice. And so again, you can do it first thing in the morning is probably your most effective time. If there were 2 times in your day that I could highly recommend you close your eyes and you go inside, it's while you're laying in bed in the morning and while you're laying in bed before you fall asleep at night. These are prime times because your subconscious is the most suggestible, which means whatever you are programming into your subconscious, just as you're waking up and as you're falling asleep at night, that becomes the lens by which you start your day and you go through your day and how you start it the next day if you're doing it at night. Your subconscious is highly suggestible because it's in a sleepy state still, which means you're still in a state of relaxation. You haven't quite jumped into attack mode, energy mode, beta brainwave state mode. You are still in your theta brainwave state as you are waking up or falling asleep at night. So I highly recommend that you spend at least a minute every single day in the morning and at night. Now, a minute is the minimum. 5, 10, 20, that's where you're going to really start seeing massive results. And if you really want to go deeper and see this lasting transformation, really doing this deeper wiring in your subconscious, you can start utilizing the meditations that I've recorded for you and linked below on the Rewired app. Those are going to support you in a much deeper way than you will likely be able to do yourself because you are being guided versus you fighting for your attention when you are laying in bed, fighting all the distractions around you. It's very hard to stay focused when you are doing this on yourself. When you are doing this by yourself in the beginning, it doesn't mean it can't be done. It means it's going to be a lot harder versus if you were doing it, listening to a guided recording with beautiful music in the background and someone guiding you into this progressive state of subconscious relaxation. Now, really quickly, the theta brainwave state is your state of subconscious reprogramming. It is the state that you're in just as you're waking up in the morning, the brainwave state that you're in just as you're waking up in the morning, and the brainwave state that you're in as you are drifting off into sleep at night. It's like active daydreaming. It's not a sleep state, but this is the state that is highly transformational. This is the state of hypnosis. This is the state of your subconscious. So if you want to rewire and reprogram your subconscious, it's essential that you activate the theta brainwave state, which is done through deep, focused, progressive relaxation, mind, body, spirit, which is really the purpose of all of the meditations that I've recorded for you. It's the purpose of the practice I just shared with you to do first thing in the morning and the evening when you close your eyes and you simply go within and you think about how you want things to go. You are pre-programming your mind for the day that you want to have versus just going through the motions of the day. Same thing with at night. You are pre-programming your subconscious with positive thoughts, with positive images, reflecting up about your life instead of reflecting down about everything you didn't do, which is usually what we end up doing before we fall asleep at night. So this is imprinting positive impressions into the subconscious. And it's very powerful because your subconscious is the most powerful tool that you have access to. It is the womb of creation. It is your hub of creation. It is the blueprint of you and why you do everything you do. So, if you want to shift your reality and shift the way you're showing up and moving from a doing state to a being state, it requires you to rewire yourself away from all the doing and into a state of presence, really seeing yourself as a present person, seeing yourself as someone who is more awakened and more aware and alive in your life versus someone who is in hustle mode all the time, who needs to get things done all the time, who has a million things to do and doesn't have time for themselves. That is an identity that you've programmed yourself to believe in. And so you can program yourself to believe in a new identity about yourself, but it requires you to utilize your subconscious because, again, subconscious is the womb of creation. So take this all with you. There are things you can start doing tonight, this morning, whatever time it is, just by closing your eyes and thinking about how you want your day to go and all of the positivity around you versus thinking about all the things you didn't do or need to do. Just feeling grateful, feeling alive, feeling there, being there. And also, again, rewiring and reprogramming using these deeper meditations are going to support you a lot as well. And something else you can do that I highly recommend that I didn't talk about too much in this episode, but it's a really quick thing that doesn't really require too much of a conversation, is putting reminders in your phone throughout the day to pause and breathe. Putting reminders in your phone to just take a deep breath so you can drop into being, so you can shift out of the doing state and into that being state. And I hope this was helpful for you. This is a entry point into awakening. This is a much deeper conversation that needs to happen to actually fully bloom into an awakened being. But this is a starting journey for you that you can begin right now. And I hope it was supportive for you. And if you'd love deeper support, please check out the resources below. And if you love this episode, subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode along this incredible journey. And I'll see you next time.